Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
I'm tracking a brand new tropical storm. I'll let you know where it's moving and when we'll see some cooler air arrive to central North Carolina. That's coming up.
Plus, NC-12 reopens for Dare County residents when tourists will be allowed back on this stretch of Island Highway. And turned away on a Saturday, why DMV frustrations linger on the final day of extended weekend hours. We've got some mild weather here for our weekend and for the first week of school for a lot of students out there. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Eric Miller. We're also watching some new systems out in the Atlantic. Meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center for us. Grant, this brand new storm is not a threat to land.
That's right. Going to sail over open waters in the Atlantic. This is Tropical Storm Fernan as of the 5 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. It is 405 miles south-southeast of Bermuda, so very far away from the U.S. East Coast, moving to the north at 15 miles per hour. Winds are at 40 miles per hour. So a weak tropical system, and will continue to move to the north, then to the north and east. So staying far away from the U.S. East Coast and North Carolina. Likely a strong tropical storm into the end of the weekend and the start of the next work week, then moving to the north and east into the North Atlantic. So again, not going to be a threat to land. Also, Roxborough, you can see a lot of scatter cloud cover continuing there. Maybe some peaks of sunshine. It's been a pretty nice day out there. Pleasant conditions. Just some brief showers showing up on radar now. We'll keep it a chance for some brief showers overnight tonight. Most stay dry, but a 20% rain chance through the morning. I'll let you know how long these isolated showers last, and we'll talk more about those cool temperatures on the way for next week. That's coming up.
Grant, thank you very much. Parts of NC-12 in the Outer Banks are reopening now that Hurricane Erin has died out in the Atlantic. The section of highway in Dare County started a phased reopening at noon today. Right now, residents, property owners, and workers can access NC-12 at the Bass Night Bridge. Starting tomorrow at 5 a.m., all restrictions will be lifted, meaning visitors can once again access NC-12. There will still be sections of the reopened highway covered in sand and water. You're urged to drive with extreme caution if you head out that way. NC-12 is still closed on Ocracoke Island between the Northern Ferry Terminal and the National Park Service Pony Pens. We now know the name of the person hit and killed by a car in Raleigh this morning. Police say 57-year-old James Patterson was walking in the streets on Hammond Road near I-40 last night. This happened around 9:30 p.m. Police say he was wearing dark clothes and the area has poor lighting. Officials say the driver stayed at the scene, and based on their investigation, there will not be any charges. A car pileup on I-40 blocked lanes near Aviation Parkway for hours this morning. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker of that crash. It started around 4:15 a.m. We know multiple cars were involved here. WRAL's Laura Levine was stuck in that traffic this morning and spoke with others caught in the backup.
I was able to kind of come over here to the edge of the road to take a snapshot. It looks like there is a car that is turned around coming towards oncoming traffic. All the airbags are deployed. Glass was completely shattered, so it's pretty bad.
We've reached out to State Highway Patrol to learn what exactly led up to this crash and the extent of any injuries of those involved. An update tonight about a Garner optometrist charged with 15 counts of sexually exploiting children. The Eye Care Center, where 73-year-old Andrew Cook worked, has suspended him from their office. According to arrest warrants, Cook obtained photos of, quote, child sexual abuse material. Some of the victims were as young as 3 to 5 years old. The Eye Care Center on Vandora Springs Road in Garner released a statement reading in part, the safety and security of all our patients, especially children, is of the utmost importance for my eye doctor. After learning of the arrest of Dr. Andy Cook, we've suspended our relationship with him. Cook is free on a $100,000 bond and has a court appearance scheduled for Monday morning. DMV locations across the state saw extremely long lines today. This was the final Saturday of extended weekend hours. Walk-in services have been provided for the past 11 weeks at 20 offices across the state. As WRAL's Laura Levine reports, the question now is, was it enough to tame the ongoing problems the DMV is facing?
It may be the last weekend for Saturday hours at DMV sites across the state. However, the demand here is far from over. We're hearing frustration from those who have waited hours, made several attempts, who say that there needs to be a more immediate solution to this problem.
But once again,
my son needs his driver's license, and I need him to drive.
Me, I'm actually just trying to get my ID. I didn't know it was going to be like this, but it is.
It's the last call for Saturday walk-in hours at DMV locations across the state.
My son and I got here at around 5:20, 5:30, and the line was already wrapped around the back of the building.
Here at the Avon Ferry site, people camped out before sunrise with the possibility of still getting turned away.
And I had been here since 6:20 in line. When I got here, it was 328 people in line because he announced that, and he said that we may not be seen, and to hang in there with him. And that's what I've done.
But many North Carolinians are tired of hanging in there.
now remember, we stopped testing at 11 o'clock. It is now 10:54.
Taking us through the tedious process of getting real IDs, driver permits, and more. We caught back up with Patricia Ellis about 3 hours later.
And no progress has been made for him. And there's a lot more people in line. It was just announced that 98 people had to leave out before they put 98 people more.
Never-ending lines outside buildings and outdated technology are two things State Auditor Dave Bullock said earlier this month needs to be addressed. And now the loss of Saturday hours is disappointing to those who've made more than one attempt to get things done.
It would be very useful if the Saturday hours continued, or if it was even every other Saturday. It would also be very useful if there was a way to submit documents online in a secure or encrypted manner.
Customers waiting in the long lines here believe the extended hours are necessary, but it's just the tip of the iceberg.
It would be nice to fully fund the DMV in order for them to be able to hire more people, and it would also be very helpful to provide funding for just the technology end of things.
And as the doors shut today on people like Ellis and her son, outrage is growing.
This is very unacceptable for the state of North Carolina, and I'm very disappointed.
Last summer, more than 17,000 people were seen during Saturday hours, and we're still waiting for data for this year. However, we know that state leaders say they are working tirelessly to meet the demand. Laura Levine, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Yeah, just unbelievable. And we reported earlier this week that the DMV is hiring dozens of licensed examiners to try to reduce some of those wait times. There was a DMV job fair Wednesday for 40 new positions. Those positions are paid for through the mini budget that Governor Josh Stein signed into law earlier this month. The DMV is now recruiting for those positions across the state. Applications are open on the DMV Careers website. And just yesterday, the DMV launched a request for proposals to overhaul its systems. The goal is to improve services by replacing outdated technology and equipment. The DMV request for proposals is open on the state's electronic vendor portal. Vendors can review the scope of the work and submit questions through August 29th at 2 p.m. Bids will be accepted until 2 p.m. on October 17th. We're just days away from the start of the new school year for the vast majority of students in our area. Well, less than 2 days now. Wake County schools and Durham Public Schools are among the districts returning to the classroom on Monday. All schools will be using the Infinite Campus for parent and student portals. This software replaced Power School. You may remember the issues with that last year. You should have received information from your child's district about creating an account if you don't already have one. Infinite Campus will give you access to attendance, grades, and assignments. And a reminder for Wake County parents, school meal prices are going up 25 cents for the new school year. Elementary school breakfast is now $2 and lunch is $2.75. Middle and high school breakfast is $2.25 and lunch is $4. Families can apply for free or reduced price meals for the upcoming school year online. New this year, free breakfast will now be offered to all students at Carroll Magnet Middle, Garner Magnet High, and South Garner High School. The Ukrainian Independence Day celebrations got underway in Raleigh today. The actual holiday is coming up tomorrow. It celebrates the country's 1991 Declaration of Independence when the Soviet Union collapsed. Ukrainians and community members gathered today for traditional music and dancing, authentic food and art and more. This year's holiday comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky pushes to go to the negotiating table to end the ongoing war with Russia.
So Ukraine is Europe's largest democracy. Ukraine is America's best friend. And Ukraine right now is standing between the good and the evil.
Organizers say they'll be sending pictures of this celebration in Raleigh to the battlefield and to hospitals in Ukraine to show those fighting and living through this war that there is support for them right here in North Carolina. A community fixture in Chapel Hill is officially back open. The exchange pool was torn apart by floodwaters from Tropical Storm Chantal, but a community effort brought it back to life. WRAL's Kirsten Clark is live for us there tonight. Kirsten, after weeks of work to try to restore this pool, families are now back enjoying the water.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. Unfortunately, I didn't come prepared today with my bathing suit, but I figured I could at least put my feet in the water. A celebration here at Exchange just wrapped up for all the members involved in bringing this pool back to life. But as you can see, there are still plenty of kids and parents and other folks here enjoying the fruits of their labor in the water tonight. Now, I want you to take a look at these pictures from Exchange and video that we shot here weeks ago when Chantal tore through Chapel Hill. Floodwaters and debris damaged fences, ripped up concrete, and filled the pool with mud. Members here at Exchange quickly got to work to clean up and repair as much as they could, and professionals were hired to put new fencing and concrete here. I spoke today with Exchange board member Grace Witzel, who told me she wasn't sure if this day would come, but she says members here at Exchange and other volunteers around Chapel Hill all made this a possibility. Now, there are still some repairs that need to be done, including a kiddie pool here that has yet to reopen. That is in the works, but I was told that there will be plenty of more gatherings here at Exchange before the summer ends. Live in Chapel Hill, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
All right, an annual Street Fest is returning. We get a look at this year's Lazy Days Art Festival in downtown Cary and hear how vendors are handling tariffs. Plus, Pack-A-Palooza, the Wolfpack is celebrating a new school year. Students share their excitement about the street takeover. The 49th annual Lazy Days Arts and Crafts Festival got underway in downtown Cary this morning. The event showcases more than 250 artists from across the country. This weekend's festival comes as Americans are grappling with rising costs from tariffs. Food vendor Arlton Canalosi says his business is really driven by domestic products.
There was no impact. I mean, I buy everything that's, locally. Our mix is sourced from New Orleans. Our coffee, when we serve it, is sourced from New Orleans. And we shop at the local places here in America.
Lazy Days features live entertainment, food, and kid-friendly activity. The festival's last day is tomorrow from 9 until 5. NC State students are packing Hillsborough Street today for the annual Pack-A-Palooza block party. The street festival caps off Wolfpack Welcome Week. It brings together NC State students, faculty, staff, alums, families, and the local community, all to kick off the new school year. The event ends with a grand finale of fireworks at the Bell Tower this evening. All right, and Grant, I got to say, it's a pretty good evening for some fireworks out there tonight. It feels fantastic.
A great day for that. I mean, it's going to be wonderful throughout the rest of the weekend and for much of the next week as well. We'll actually have some cooler temperatures arrive by Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. That'll last all the way through Saturday into Sunday. Highs at around 80 degrees. Lows could drop into the upper 50s by Thursday. For Sunday, though, a few showers. It'll be warm out there as well. We'll keep it some scattered cloud cover, but still a pleasant day. Monday to start the school year for most people. Mid-80s for your highs, and then limited rain chances overall. So only a chance for some brief showers very early in the day. Then that front moves through. That's going to bring us a much drier air. A big humidity drop is coming. Winds will shift out of the north and west, bring that drier air. Again, that front could bring some isolated showers, mainly into Sunday, but most places stay dry. By Monday, 67 in the morning, 87 by the afternoon. So a really nice day. Still warm out there. The cool down comes into Tuesday and Wednesday. Even by Thursday, still pretty cool. cool into the upper 50s to start the day Thursday. So again, not overly cool out there, but I might need one layer stepping out the door Thursday morning, as it'll be cooler overall for the middle portion of this week. Right now from RDU, you can see plenty of cloud cover continues there. Got a lot of stubborn clouds over the past handful of days. They'll finally start to move out into the middle portion of the coming week, but we'll have to deal with some scattered cloud cover for now before this front can finally push through. Temperatures 77 in Raleigh, 79 in Fayetteville, 76 at Southern Pines, 80 in South Hill, so still pretty mild out there, mid to upper 70s, a couple of spots in the low 80s this evening. Overnight tonight, some brief showers can't be ruled out, mid to upper 60s for most of us. Down towards the Sandhills, 70 degrees in Fayetteville, 69 Clinton, 65 South Hill, 63 to start your Sunday in Roxborough. You'll start at 66 in Durham. Throughout the day, maybe taking the dog for a walk, mid 80s by the afternoon, so not too warm out there, but still a pleasant day. We'll keep in plenty of scattered cloud cover. We'll have a chance for some isolated showers and brief storms, though, throughout the day. Very, very isolated, though. Not everyone will see rain. You can see throughout the rest of this evening, those brief showers will continue. Here's Goldsboro. In Clinton, you can see some isolated showers, mainly in our southeastern spots. Radar is pretty quiet right now, but these brief showers will pop up into the overnight hours and into your Sunday. There's 8:45 a.m., still some light showers, maybe some pockets of moderate showers mixed in. Then later in the day, more of the same. Brief showers, lingering clouds. It'll be a pretty similar picture all the way through Sunday night as we head into early Monday morning, then quieter weather for much of next week. Also watching Tropical Storm Fernand. The good news is staying well off the U.S. East Coast, moving to the north-northeast, then to the northeast, into the North Atlantic, so not a threat to land. Just a system we'll continue to keep a close eye on, but not going to be a threat for our area or the U.S. Back to school on Monday, 86 degrees. Going to be very pleasant to start the school year, and going to be feeling really comfortable by the middle portion of this week. Upper 50s and low 60s in the morning. Very limited rain chances. Can't complain about that. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful next week, and the high's only around 80 degrees, so not too hot out there. Kids will enjoy it.
Grant, thank you very much. And something else to get excited about here, college football officially back, Chris.
Yeah, excited about that. 2025 is going to be a good year. College football officially kicks off today. We'll have a preview for NC Central's season debut in just a few minutes. Plus, it's a nasty rivalry, but Dave Doran wants to ensure it doesn't get nasty outside of the field of play on Thursday. We'll preview NC State and ECU next in sports. Duke versus UNC and NC State versus UNC are big rivalries that are talked about the most, but we should let NC State versus ECU enter the chat. It's been on display for years, and it reared its ugly head last season in the Military Bowl. That game was marred by a brawl towards the end of the contest between the Pack and the Pirates, a nod to the past between these two programs. Pack head coach Dave Doran says that he wants to prevent that when these two teams meet on Thursday.
Obviously, it's going to be brought up the week of the game, but it's something that's been going on a long time. The standards and the culture of this football program on and off the field are to do things a certain way. And how you react versus respond is part of maturity, and two wrongs don't make a right. It doesn't matter what somebody else does. It's how we respond to what happens. And in a game, in life, it's all the same. And so just having the maturity, the leadership.
This coming Thursday at 7 o'clock. Primetime has been good to NC Central, especially when they're in the ATL. The Eagles won the Celebration Bowl over the Deion Sanders-led Jackson State Tigers back in 2022. They also won the MEAC SWAC Challenge to begin the season versus Alcorn State in 2021. Tonight, the Eagles are back in Atlanta, back in primetime for the 2025 MEAC SWAC Challenge versus the Southern Jaguars. Head coach Trey Oliver knows that it's very important for his team to get off to a great start for his team's success.
There's a lot on the line right here. We're trying to hold it down for our conference and obviously put a great product out there as far as our university brand is concerned. But yes, Atlanta has been good to us. We've done well in classics since we've been here. I think we're 6-0 now, whether it be the Circle City Classic, Orange Blossom, or Celebration Bowl. So we've had some success on the big stage.
The Eagles take on Southern University Jaguars at 7:30 tonight in Atlanta. Next year, UNC will kick off the 2026 season in Ireland at the Aer Lingus Classic. That announcement was made earlier this year at a press conference at UNC. Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels will be international to play TCU to open college football in the 0 week next year. This year's game kicked off the 2025 college football season. Great atmosphere for Iowa State and Kansas State. Iowa State strikes first. Rocco Becht airs it out to Dominic Overby. 23-yard touchdown to open up the scoring for the Cyclone lads. 6.5 left in the game. The Wildcats down 24-14. Avery Johnson hits Duran Bradley in stride, and then after that it's a foot race. 65-yard touchdown as the Cats get a little bit closer. Less than 3 minutes left. Becht hits Carson Hansen, who breaks tackles to get the first down all the way down to the 1-yard line. Cyclones kneel the clock to win out in Ireland 24-21. Inclement weather in Florida canceled qualifying for the Coke Zero 400 at Daytona last night. That meant that High Point, North Carolina native Ryan Blaney got pole position because of his overall performance in the last NASCAR Cup race. As the playoffs approach, Blaney knows how important it is to take advantage of this track position and get a win.
Yeah, it's nice that we have it to start, and then just how do you keep it? You know, the first stage is pretty straightforward. You can make it on gas. But then how do you play second and third stage to set yourself up for after the pit stop, and just kind of the way this racing is.
Now, weather is supposed to be clearing out at Daytona tonight. They should be able to get in that race. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 can be seen on WRAL at 7:30 tonight.
Fantastic, Chris. A lot to look out for. A great weekend for sports. Appreciate it. And thank you for joining us here this evening. We will see you back here at 10 and 11 o'clock tonight. Have a good night, everybody.